I don't know even what that. Oh, there it is. Now it's working.
Didn't say that.
No, it didn't. I didn't
Oh,
say
okay.
starting either.
Hey, hey, Boris, can you close the door, please? So welcome to this community code to Jignesh. I suppose everyone else had better things to do after a long weekend. There's something else right now. Okay, so we're going to start as usual with a quick update. If we have more people joining by the time this ends, we are. Thank you. We're going to move to open mic after that. Let's start in this direction here. Aaron, do you have anything interesting to share from the past couple weeks?
I've been investigating some issues we have in our proxy load balancing solution for multi-region support. I don't have a ton of evidence or any data about what's going on, but it seems like we have some issues. So that's been my primary focus for the last.
Right, and actually, if people out there have experience with HA proxy, the specific issue that Aaron is mentioning is, hey Karthik, the specific issue, yeah, could you please, I'm going to do that for you. So the specific issue that Aaron is mentioning is that sometimes our stick table seems to be polluted with server IDs that come from nowhere, and we're not entirely sure what's causing that. Let me just enable follow me here. So if anyone has seen anything that sounds remotely similar to this, that would be we'd gladly discuss it.
Yeah. So otherwise, I don't really have any updates for.
All right. I obviously don't have any either.
So those past 2 weeks, I and multiple other colleagues worked on the new project Jitsi Meet React, which is an effort to Jitsi to mobile, but also have the source code run on web. And the people involved are Jana Vance, Kostka, Pavel, the main Chukarista. So many people work on this, and we currently have something beginning there, so you can check it out on GitHub. Just mention that. We're gonna work. We've pretty much settled on a structure for the project. People are researching internationalization, testing. We've just last week another one of our PRs got merged into upstream in React Native WebRTC, and we have like 10 more commits there. So we're making this project strong as well. And
Okay, thanks. By the way, this is already working. So if people want to try it out, that's and get involved, everyone is welcome to do it. So that's it.
Nice. So I was working on basic JW client side integration, implemented some coding overlay. Information about it comes from JWT token. So code. After that, changed a little bit the iframe API, added some comments there, functions, and we were using before we do the post message function to communicate with the parent iframe. Now we are using an npm module called postis, and what else? Me and the Manchu, we were looking into our implementation for some cases where we want to send errors to call stats, but we don't have conference yet. change some stuff there. Mainly the nature change some stuff. We are looking also at our media devices configurations in the library, like setting input output devices. And to change some stuff there as well. And what else? I started looking into an issue when possibly Easter started. And the owner has some troubles to connect there. That's pretty much my side.
Okay. So not much to report on here. Myself and George have been working with some of the people in High Five to resolve some issues last time. That's it.
And could you please mention how far along that is according to you?
Yeah, so I believe that most of the issues of this located them and we're gonna have a fix. One of them involves sequence number rewriting for last so that when someone leaves last and enters again, there is no gap in this previously calls the receiver's SRTD stack to drop packets because of the roll pattern.
So Brian is not here today, but we're waiting on them to submit the actual PR with all this functionality. This is obviously very important for mobile as well. And in that regard, we're thinking of potentially looking into last N for audio. Probably sometime during August at the latest. Yeah.
So I fixed the deployment for latest 2 LTS for implementing the server-side input in the Jet implementation bridge. Also, we have a new continuous integration machine, so I'm PR testing there and start looking at creating existing build machines to use it and change at some point the Debian repos. We will have like unstable testing, stable, new keys to sign the repo. Also working on some of stat stuff, reporting device lists, found some books, fixing them now. Also added reporting shards in the regions for the multi-region support reporting. That's it.
We're also going to try and make sure we have the stable build line during the next 2 weeks because we also need it internally for various reasons. That would basically mean that every build we release on Jitsi after a sufficient amount of internal testing will also be released in our public repositories stable, so that others can also know not to switch to broken builds. And finally, Sam, I got anything?
Yeah, I've been working on the Jibri recording parts of Jacofo and adding retries to that. So I refactored a few bits of the recorder and I've been added retries and I've been attempting to test that, but running into X11 issues, which I think Aaron actually kind of figured out that the obvious we don't actually need to do that kind of way earlier. So I'm going to change how I'm testing it. I think that should work. And so yeah, just adding retries. Theoretically, that should be done soon.
As in the next couple of days?
So hopefully today. It really just needs to be tested.
Okay.
So.
All right. So thank you, Sam, and everyone. We are. Pavel and Lance haven't gone. So who would like to start? Lance? Pavel?
I will. So the last 2 weeks I've been helping work with the React project, getting it working both on mobile and for web. So good progress there.
Yeah, actually, it would be. I probably should have said this while Google was talking about this, but at some point, we'd like to take a lot of the existing Neat code and just start sticking it into the React code without actually rewriting everything. Obviously, there would be some amount of sanitization, but so this is for everyone who's involved in the React effort right now. Actually, do you guys believe that this is something that we should be able to start in the next couple of weeks? Or
Yeah, so we've had it, we planned the beginning of transition of the source, of taking code from Jitsi Meet into Jitsi Meet React for this week. Lance was supposed to start it, but we got sidetracked by um, things like modifications to the structure, to the switching between web and mobile in the project, so it got.
okay, that's cool. I'm really excited about this. Lance, anything else you'd like to share, or are you ready? Are you done?
No, I'm good.
Okay, thanks. Pavel, would you like to share anything?
Yes, so last time I pushed some PRs about React Native for Android, which are now merged into our branch of React Native for RTC. And after that, I did a short spike on call stats with React Native, but it turned out that some functionality is missing from React Native, which is available in browser, but I haven't continued after that. And later I was fixing issue with video mute, which appears only in Canary currently and Chrome beta, but it will soon be stable. So I fixed that. The problem was that simulcast layers were not reinitialized. And right now I'm working on adding Google authentication to Jitsi Meet, which we are also going to use for retrieving YouTube stream ID so that the user won't have to enter it every time. And that's it from me.
Yeah, that was me, sorry. All right. One thing that we didn't mention, I believe, is that we have a number of scenarios detected where Jitsi Meet does not properly reconnect during after an issue with the infrastructure, be it GCOFO or the video bridge. So that's another thing that we're likely going to continue working on during the next couple of weeks. We basically identified two main scenarios, two main categories of errors. First category is where we basically just need to reestablish the XMPP connection. And the second category is where we need to reload the page. So basically, if we detect an issue with the signaling to the server or with GCOFO, we will reload the page, which the reason is that yeah, actually, this is not structured well enough in my mind so that I could do a meaningful description right now. But once the implementation is ironed out, we'll probably be able to give a more meaningful description. But the idea is that in certain scenarios, it's possible to just say, oh, this is just a connection issue, and if we just reestablish our XMPP connection, we'd be able to continue as before. And in other scenarios, it's obvious that, like, if a GCOFO is down, then it would be unlikely for the connection to be reestablished on the same server. So we basically reload the page, giving the infrastructure a chance to redirect us to a different backend. That's basically the main thing. But again, let's just keep that description for next time because I'm not fully describing it properly right now. Okay, so this is everything from our side. Open mic, any questions, comments, requests? While I'm waiting for people to come up with questions, quick update on the Bootstrap effort. Jana and Lucy did connect during this week. There were a number of issues identified with Bootstrap. Some were fixed, some are not yet. So this is in progress.
I had a question about the recording that's built into Jitsi itself.
Yep.
Do you guys have any intention to maintain that, or is that going to be removed? As we've been trying to use it, there's a few bugs in there.
No, we don't have the resources to remove it, to maintain it. We were considering removing it.
Yeah.
So do you have good reasons not to switch to Jibri, or is it just a matter of not having had the opportunity yet?
We're interested in doing more post-processing with the video streams, doing different layouts and sort of like different renderings of the event.
So why don't we discuss that, because you could basically achieve all that with Jibri as well. And it would actually be much easier, since the different layouts would be a matter of different CSS, as opposed to FFmpeg command line programming.
Oh, I was thinking more GStreamer, but yeah.
It still is easier with the CSS, right? So.
Sort of. With the way that I haven't looked at what Jibri is doing, but it's all handling real-time processing of everything that's happened, right?
Correct.
Like I would essentially have to have a recorder set up ahead of time with the particular layout that I wanted.
That's correct, yes.
And then there's also the issue of the quality of the streams as they're seen from Jibri versus what the actual quality is arriving at the bridge. Like,
well, that is one of the reasons why we initially went towards the Juricon style architecture. And having run Jibri for a few months now, we believe this to be a non-issue, because we basically, given that both the Jibri and the video bridge machines are living in data center, in server premises, transport issues between these two, I wouldn't say they don't exist, but they're so low that it's not worth making major architectural design decisions based on that. That's our experience.
Yeah.
In other words, Jibri basically gives us perfect quality all of the time. So
yeah, well, I'm reluctant to rely on such a large stack of technology to do the video rendering. That's sort of where my concern is coming from in that space. Like relying on Chrome and then relying on the JavaScript executing correctly, and like the whole slew of things that are in between the video streams and the actual output that gets rendered. I'm sure you guys are thinking of those sorts of things as well. It's just like that's our feeling on the project that we're working on.
Well, on the other hand, you are relying on basically libjitsi being able to support absolutely all transport extensions and changes that Chrome might choose to add and implement, which is the main reason why we actually started looking into alternatives. This is something that you get for free with Jibri, and obviously you also have the live streaming possibility, which is completely excluded by Juricon. But here's the thing: how about why not doing something like that by having Jibri and adding the option to it of media stream recording.
Yeah.
Because this is now supported by the WebRTC API, and it should give you essentially the same input as, or output rather, as JReCon would produce. Wouldn't that satisfy? Or it's just the fact that you're running Chrome that bothers you?
Well, it's running Chrome, but also relying on the logic within Jitsi to switch to the right video stream at the right time.
You're not relying on that at all.
Well, I'm relying on it in retrieving the last N video streams, right? Like if that logic doesn't go the way the person using it sort of planned, they don't have any recourse after the fact, right? Like
So,
it's like the video recorder is only pulling streams down that it believes are the most active. Right?
So there is no difference between JReCon and Jibri in that situation. They all have the same set of operations that they can do.
Yeah.
If you want to retrieve, if you want to send different numbers for last time, if you want to have some logic on which is the mainstream that you want to use,
yeah.
I'm not even sure about, like, maybe, yeah, no, I don't actually see something that JReCon could do and Jibri couldn't. The difference is that with Jibri you'd be able to do it with JavaScript.
Yeah.
So potentially,
okay. There, I would just sort of ignore what the server is telling me about which streams to retrieve and just retrieve everything.
Which is native functionality for Meet, right? You can, so you can pick whichever one you want. And actually, if I, right now, for example, we focused on you, even though I'm the active speaker. We also have this extra feature, follow me, that Jibri can use and not JReCon. So like you can override that logic in any way you want in Jibri, and there's no, it is not in any sort of disadvantage compared to JReCon in such situations. Okay. So I do buy the argument about we're nervous using this whole stack of things. That I can understand, except that you are also sort of using a stack of things with JReCon, because yeah, sure, it's you're getting the streams directly, but you're also, oh, I'm sorry about that. This is just this, okay. Instead of using FFmpeg one way, you're using it through GStream or another way. Yeah, it's delayed in time, so potentially you have a little bit more leeway there for handling errors or something like that. But anyway, you guys make your own decisions, obviously.
Yeah.
If you'd like, it's just that we cannot continue maintaining JReCon. So if you'd like stuff to be fixed there, you'd have to do it yourselves.
Okay.
But it's good to know that you're letting me know. At least that way, we're not going to delete the project. So, anyone else? Going once, going twice.
Guess, are you guys going to ClueCon this year?
I might, yeah. Probably will, yes. And before that, we're going to, some of us are going to the ITF in Berlin.
Okay.
Okay, well, thanks everyone for joining, and see you again in 2 weeks. This stream is now available on the Jitsi channel in YouTube, and I'll post the link in a minute. Bye-bye.